Now, the other challenge is if there's a significant delay between what we're doing, when we're doing it, and when it's going to show up on our Facebook,
Okay.
but that's okay too.
That's okay. I don't want to show my face while I'm eating dinner.
Oh, no, don't worry.
What a world this is, the good and the bad, right?
Yeah, well, and we're all learning new things in the process, right?
I'm happy I even know this. This is great.
Okay, so it looks like it's, okay, it started. I just have to mute my phone. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay, I got the sound down on my phone, but I'm watching on my phone so that if people do make comments there, I can know as well. And we're still 10 minutes early, but I figured
yeah.
I wanted to get started early just so I had things in place.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Challenged by some of the technology, but you know, we all are, right?
That's it. We have to keep learning.
Yeah.
I know I asked my
I spent
because he knows a lot. So I say, how do I do this? How do I do this? When I'm looking at the screen now, I see you in the middle, and then I see a little box at the bottom with me on it because I'm on an iPad.
Okay, so you're in speaker view right now. So in the top right of your screen, there's an option for gallery or gallery.
No,
And that,
there isn't.
so if you're on an iPad, it might be in the bottom. There's a place where it will say it says speaker view or it says gallery view. So if I'm
Here,
in
gallery
speaker
view.
view, then you're big and I'm little. Gallery view makes us the same size. And
There
when
we are.
people join us, then there'll be more boxes on the screen.
I got it.
Okay, so you have both choices. So I'm going to be putting a story up there and then I'll take over the screen for that part of it because I have permission from the author to share the story that she wrote. It's a beautiful story and it's called The World Needs Beautiful Things. So we're to be I'm going to be reading that story in a little bit and challenge everyone to think of beautiful things that you can find around you.
There's Dennis.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Hello.
And he'll be here in a moment.
We'll say Shabbat Shalom a little bit longer, right?
Yes. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, it's a good time for a sigh, right?
Yes.
So we are up on Facebook as well. So it is a bit delayed from what we're doing here. So if you were to watch them both at the same time, it would be a little confusing.
Oh,
I'm not sure how many seconds it is, but it's a little bit after.
Dennis, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Keeping busy with getting everything online.
Yes, we all are. Wow. I asked my grandchildren how they like it.
And
They're managing. They're doing okay.
yeah. Yeah, my students seem to be doing okay. They seem to be, friendly when they tune in and
I think it's hard on their eyes to be on the computer for 5 hours a day. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
When their eyes aren't on their computer, it's on their cell phone. It's so built into their DNA now. They're just used to it. It's just flipping.
They're used to it, except they're not exactly. Plus, my kids are in a tiny New York City apartment on top of each other. If they were close before, now they're even closer. But they're managing. I mean, it's
challenges for all of us and
everybody.
We're in.
Yep, everybody in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
That's how humans got to the top of the chain. We are adaptable.
Thankfully, right?
Did you see everybody was okay?
And so everybody's, yes,
Okay, you have your Havdalah candle breaks. I was going to
Found-
suggest,
Sandy found the Havdalah candle.
okay, Havdalah
Oh.
candle, and then if you want to find some kind of sweet smelling things, it can be a spice box.
Oh.
It can be like a potpourri. I have some, I don't do a lot of scented things, so I have some teas that are really nice smelling. I found mulling spices, so I went searching for something sweet to smell. And then you're going to want to have either some kind of juice or wine to be able to put your candle out in as well.
You mean like that?
That's right. You don't
There you
want
go.
to get any further down than if you want to put your candle out in it, though.
I don't need an excuse to have a glass of wine.
No, but if you drink it too fast, you won't be able to get the candle out in it. And part
Oh,
of it sizzles. So
And you don't want to drink it after you put the candle in it.
No.
those are your favorite best wine, but a wine or a juice. So I did grape juice.
Ooh, that smells good.
Yeah, so I have grape juice and a number of spice boxes, and figured everyone can find something sweet smelling around their house to be able to use. So then we have some people who've joined us on Facebook as well, and I have an error with loading, so I'm going to try again with the Facebook Live. So I will be back with you momentarily on Facebook. Okay, it looks like I'm there now. So the Rossmans are watching, and Carol Hers is watching, and we have on the screen, we have others. So we're coming along, and we're still a little bit ahead. So I wrote to the people on there to see if they can see. It looks like looks like we're up there now. Yeah, I think we are. Okay. They can see us on Facebook as well. So my challenge, no, it went out again. My challenge to you is to be to find something from your house, something sweet smelling, to be able to savor the sweetness of Shabbat. And also, if you have a candle, a Havdalah candle, or if you have a couple candles you can hold together, the idea is to have the flame of at least 2 candles together for the end of Havdalah. If you don't have it this week, I'll be doing it, and some other people have theirs. And then we'll be able, let's see, trying again here to see if I can get us up on Facebook. So it looks like we're up again, but it seems to be struggling a little bit. I'll be right back with you momentarily. Okay, we are still going. I'll be right back with you momentarily.
That was interesting. I heard your voice.
Right, you heard me from Facebook.
Yeah,
That's right.
a little time delay there was strange.
Yeah, there's definitely a time delay. Okay, we are still going.
Put the camera over here.
I'll be right back with you momentarily.
For sure.
Really?
Okay. That was interesting. I heard your voice.
Right, you heard me from Facebook.
Yeah,
That's right.
a little time delay there was strange.
Yeah, there's definitely a time delay.
camera over here?
I'll be right back with you momentarily.
For sure.
That was you.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I heard your voice. Right. You heard me from Facebook. Yeah. That's right. Little time delay there was strange. Yeah, there's definitely a time delay.
Now we're playing it.
I'll be right back with you momentarily.
For sure.
Okay, so we should be together. I hope
Right.
we're getting sound from both places at the same time now. Let me be sure I have this off totally.
Yeah, there's definitely a time delay.
And that's the fourth time.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect us from Facebook and then I'm going to put us back on there. So hold on 1 minute and then we'll be able to start.
Right.
We're getting sound from both places at the same time now. Let me be sure I have this off totally.
A little strange.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Because she hasn't put anything on full screen. She's not sharing anything yet. These are just thumbnails.
Can you hear me or not?
I
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay, so what I did was I turned the sound down on the video on Facebook. So what we're hearing now is you're hearing me on Zoom, which we are broadcasting to Facebook.
Good.
So welcome to those of you both places. And I believe we have people both places. Okay, so I want to wish you, first of all, a Shabbat Shalom. And what I wanted to do was start with a story and then move to Havdalah. So if you have around you somewhere sweet, something sweet smelling for savoring that sweetness of Shabbat, it can be, I have a spice box, it can be some sort of potpourri, it can be spices, it can be tea bags, it can be whatever kinds of scented things you enjoy. And we'll have that to share a little bit later. I want to begin though with a story, and I have permission from the author to share this with you. And it is a very beautiful storybook, and it is called The World Needs Beautiful Things. It's written by Rabbi Leah Rachel Berkowitz, and it's published by Carben. And she said, if you like it, she invites you to purchase a copy from an independent bookstore and support them as well in these times. And so I want to share with you this story about a young little boy, and his name was Bitzalel. And from the time that he was a little boy, Bitzalel loved to collect things, and his eyes were drawn to shiny stones, to colored strings, and even a bug if it had a shiny, shimmering green wings. And Bitzalel brought each treasure home to his beautiful things box. So I don't know if any of you have a place where you collect things, but I think many of us have over the course of time. So his was his beautiful things box. Bitzalel and the rest of the Israelites were slaves in Egypt. The taskmasters grew angry when Bitzalel dropped bricks into the mud to pick up a scaly piece of skin shed from a snake. And his friends said, stop that, you're going to get us in trouble. Besides, you don't need all those stones and strings and bug wings. And Bitzalel just smiled and said, each of these things is beautiful in its own way, and the world needs beautiful things. Second. Bitzalel never stopped searching for beauty and for color, and when his life felt gray, he took out his beautiful things box. He pressed smooth stones to his cheek, and he wrapped colorful strings around his fingers, forgetting for a moment that he was a slave. One day, Bezalel heard amazing news. Pharaoh was allowing the slaves to go free, but they would have to leave Egypt immediately, and the Israelites hurried to pack for their journey. Bezalel's parents begged him to leave the beautiful things box behind. They said, "We can only take what we can carry. And what we absolutely need," his mother said. "You don't need all those stones and strings and bug wings." But Bezalel insisted. He said, "Each of these things is beautiful in its own way, and the world needs beautiful things." So Bezalel took his beautiful things box and he walked with the Israelites to freedom. You see him at the back of the line of people there holding his little box in front of him? Bezalel saw many beautiful things as the Israelites left Egypt. The bright full moon was lighting their path. Walls of water on either side of them as they crossed the Red Sea. And pillars of fire and cloud that guided them on their journey. These things were too big for the beautiful things box, so Bezalel tried to collect them in his mind. He also found many things that he could put in his beautiful things box. "Stop grabbing things out of the sand," moaned his parents. "You don't need more stones, strings, or bug wings." But you know what Bezalel did, right? He gripped his beautiful things box and he kept walking. One day, God called to Moses, the leader of the Israelites, and said, "I want you to build a mishkan, a place for me to dwell when I visit the Israelites." God told Moses all of this and said, "It will be like a beautiful room in your house for a special guest." Moses was flustered and he said, "Where are we supposed to find what we need to build your house, God? We left Egypt with nothing and we're in the middle of the desert." And God said, "The Israelites can bring me gifts, gold, silver, and copper, strings of blue, purple, and red, wood, oil, and spices." "What if they don't have anything beautiful?" Moses asked. "Everyone can find something," God promised, "if they know where to look." The Israelites surrounded Moses as he came down the mountain, and they asked, "What does God want?" "God wants us to build a house out of beautiful things," said Moses. And there was silence. How could they build a house for God with only what they had carried out of Egypt? God suggested string. "Does anybody have string to help us get started?" asked Moses doubtfully. He heard a small voice that said, "I have string." And everyone looked to see as Bezalel stepped forward, clutching his beautiful things box. "I have red, blue, and purple. What color does God want?" The Israelites' mouths hung open as Bezalel spread his treasures on the ground. "I remember seeing trees with white flowers on the other side of the mountain," Bezalel added. "Their trunks might be good for building. I saw twisty olive trees too." So if you look at all of those little things on the ground that he'd collected over his years, his times of travel in Egypt and wandering, you could take a moment to see all the kinds of things that he found that he decided were beautiful. Then something strange happened. The Israelites began to see blossoms poking out of the prickly cacti and the twisty olive trees at the foot of forbidding mountains, and they started their own beautiful things boxes, and they brought them to Bezalel. See some of the things that they found? Some of the wool from the sheep and a feather. Moses ran to tell God, you were right. We found many beautiful things. And God looked at Bezalel, who was arranging stones by color and by shape. Bezalel said, God, you will design the Mishkan. Bezalel's heart pounded. Me? Yes, said God. You love beautiful things. You found them in Egypt. You found them in the desert. You will build my dwelling place because I love beautiful things too. So Bezalel described the beautiful images he saw in his mind, and together he and the other Israelites sketched their plans, his plans, in the sand. And then they started building with the materials they'd collected. Wood from desert trees, animal skins dyed bright colors, and bits of metal from rings and belt buckles. And when the structure was complete, they wove tapestries and they made lamps and they crushed olives for the oil and they mixed spices for incense. Bezalel smiled at the finished Mishkan. He said, this is the biggest beautiful things box ever. Now, every time God visits, there will be a beautiful place for God to dwell. So I want to challenge you to consider if you had, or maybe some of you have, a box to collect your beautiful things in it. What would they be? And how do we find things that are beautiful all around us in the world in which we live, as we see the things that they had found in theirs? So just to drive you a little bit crazy or take the prerogative, I went hunting for what I thought might be my beautiful things. And so I'm going to share some of them with you in just a moment. But I'm going to first, for right now, I'm going to mute everyone, and then I will unmute in a little bit. So my brother-in-law, his parents had a cigar store. So my box is a plastic cigar box. I'm an avid non-smoker, but it was a good thing to collect things in. So I went and I found it today. And so when I was in religious school, we made a mezuzah from a matchbox, and it says Shema on it. And I have checked, and the piece of paper inside in my Hebrew scribbles has the Shema and the V'ahavta in it that we did at that time. Someone gave me this pretty bird out of pieces of wood. I have ribbons and braid, gimp, whatever we call it these days. And then I found some other things from over the course of time. I found a bookmark with the golden rule on it that says, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And I found two little challahs that are out of clay with a challah cover. So I'm sure some of you have collections as well. I think this is Havron glass. It's blue and it has a Jewish star on it. And at one point I made with a group, we made our own shoelaces. So we wrote on them with permanent marker, and my Hebrew name is Batsheva. So these are my Batsheva shoelaces in all the different colors that we had. So a lot of different kinds of things. A little treasure chest from what we used to put our tooth in for the tooth fairy. A little bell, doesn't really ring. Collector coins, another bell that does make a little noise. And some seashells and balls. So anyway, I challenge you to look and see what kinds of things you can find. And then I collected tiny bits of seashells, but I also collected the sayings on salated tea bags. So this is what Soletta tea bag things looked like a long time ago. And this one I thought was particularly nice for us now. It said, emergencies often bring out strengths in us we never knew we had. So I figured I would share that with you. So it must have meant that I was supposed to look for these things today. So I challenge you to look for those little things that you've saved that may or may not have seemed like they were that valuable, but may have a lot more worth than we realize. So we are now ready to make Havdalah. We welcomed Shabbat together last night, and we are going to say goodbye to Shabbat together now. And so I am going to move my Havdalah materials back in front of me, and I hope that you've had the opportunity to find sweet smelling things, and so that you have something to smell when we do the spice boxes. Again, I've collected different things over the years. I think we might have made these for the 65th anniversary of the temple with cinnamon and cloves and things like that in it. So it doesn't have to be in anything in particular, but the idea is to have something that smells sweet, and then the braided candle, or if you don't have a braided candle, you can hold 2 candles together. And then spices. So I will be holding things up as we move through these so that you'll have the opportunity to see them as well. And I have more than one spice box. So what I'm going to do for the blessings is we're going to sing the melody with the la la las, and I will tell you the words of the blessings before we sing them. I thought it was more important to be able to share the Havdalah candle and the symbols than it was to see the words in front of you. And I'll have a different Havdalah candle for next week because I don't know how many weeks this one will last. But if you have a Havdalah candle, you want to light your Havdalah candle first. And I know we have a few people with them. I can't tell on I can't tell on Facebook, but I can tell here that we have it. So we're going to start singing as we have the candles lit. And the first blessing we're going to do is the blessing over the wine or juice. Ya la 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 ask you to mute so that we can sing together, because otherwise we're not all together and it's even more delayed on Facebook.
Now we can't hear her.
She's muted.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Something's not right.
I'm going to unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask if you will mute yourselves. I can help to mute you around if you're not sure how to do it. Okay, so I think most of you are muted. Okay, so we're going to sing the blessing, and the words are Borei Pri Hagafen at the end. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Pri Hagafen Borei Pri Hagafen Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim. You want to take a moment to smell the sweetness of whatever it is that you have found in your home, to be able to smell, to savor that sweetness for the week. And then we have the blessing over the candle. And if you have a candle of your own, or if not, you can do it, put your hands towards the candle that you see on the screen so that you can feel symbolically, feel the warmth of it metaphorically, and see the flame, the reflection dancing in your fingernails. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. And the words are Borei Meorei Ha'esh. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh. And the blessing for Havdalah overall is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol ben or l'choshech ben yom hashvi'i l'sheshet yemei hama'aseh. Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol. Blessed is the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who separates sacred from profane, light from darkness, the seventh day of rest from the 6 days of labor. Blessed is the eternal who separates the sacred from the profane. We take a small sip from our juice or wine so we have enough left to be able to put our candle out in it. And we are ready to put the candle out in the juice. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the sizzle. Could you hear that at all? Okay. We sing together Shavua Tov, which means a good week. Shavua Tov, 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 a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase, a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. And we sing Eliyahu Hanavi, that we'll also be singing at Passover time when we welcome Elijah to our Seder tables as well. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi is the first part. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera v'yameinu yavo eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, again Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Eliyahu Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. So last night we wished one another Shabbat Shalom, and we did that this morning. Now we wish one another Shavua Tov, a good week. So we will be back for next week to do this again. And I'm going to unmute everybody so we can have the opportunity to speak to one another and wish all of the best to everyone who has been with us on Facebook as well. And I believe they have had the opportunity to see us all on Facebook Live too. So I want to wish you all a Shavua Tov, a good week, and stay well, stay calm, stay connected.
Thank you. Thank you, Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
So,
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov. Thank you, Rabbi Barbara. It was beautiful. Thank you.
thank you. Shavua Tov.
Thank you for doing this with me. We have Alice from Massachusetts and all the rest of us more locally, and it's good to have us all together. I want to thank all of you who've joined us also on Facebook Live.
Yes, thank you, Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
You too. You can leave the meeting at the bottom right when you're ready to leave.
I don't want to leave.
Okay,
Who
well,
is
you don't
that?
have to leave, and we've got people still on FaceTime with us as well. So it's okay if you don't want to leave quite yet. I'm not ending the meeting, we're just getting to a smaller group. I am going
Okay.
to wind down the Facebook connection though, so that we will stay on here. So I want to wish you all a Shavua Tov, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Rabbi, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good
Be
night.
safe.
You too.